லைகா புரொடக்ஷன் சுபாஷ்கரன் வழங்கும் அஜித் குமார் நடிக்கும் விடாமுயற்சி வெற்றி நடை போடுகிறது.
டாக்டர் ஸ்ரீவர்மா ஆயுள் தரும் ஆயுர்வேதா அறுவை சிகிச்சை இல்லா குணம் ஆயுள் கால நிவாரணம்.
Taste the Daily.
I'm great, thanks, Brian. Thank you for taking us through that qualifying session. Tricky conditions for the drivers out there. As you can see, Ariel Levy, our double pole sitter, just grabbing some congratulations from a lot of the teams. But I thought I'd grab a quick word on your walk back to the team. Great qualifying session from yourself. Put in 2 solid laps at the end there.
Yeah, thank you very much, first of all. It was quite a difficult qualifying session. Some of the brakings were still wet and also some of the curbs. So we had to adapt quite a lot. But yeah, I think I am happy about my lap times and yeah, we'll see what happens in the races.
Yeah, double pole position as well. You managed to get 2 laps in almost identical. So clearly you had a good feeling for the car by the end.
Yeah, I mean, I think the car with all the wet patches on the track, but I think in the end I found out what to do and it was okay.
Ariel, we've seen you go from pole position many times before. Well, you can feel the heat from the sun, but clearly the circuit not quite dry out there with those 2 cars going off. But I thought I'd grab a quick word with David Harrison. It looks like tricky conditions out there. 2 cars off at turn 1, so not completely dry yet.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's just that, yeah, they're particularly down into turn 1, under the trees, it's just a little bit damp. So, yeah, you just have to be a bit cautious going in there. But, yeah, bad luck to those guys.
It's clearly definitely slicks, obviously, everyone out on slick tyres. Is there anything you have to do inside the car differently compared to full dry conditions with these slightly damp patches?
No, car's otherwise the same. No, it's more or less the same setup, so, yeah.
And what do you think you can get out of this session?
I mean, the track wasn't too bad. I think, you know, it was very early to go off at the pace that they were going. So I think maybe, you know, their tyres weren't in at that particular point, and that's why they've had an issue.
Yeah. Interesting, actually, to say that the tyres need to come in. Is it more difficult to get the tyres into the optimum window when there's a few damp patches?
Yes, but there's enough dry patches on this circuit now, so I don't think, you know, that shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah. It's a good.
They do take 2 or 3 laps to kind of come in.
Yeah, they do take 2 or 3 laps to come in. A good start to the session for you. You're sort of at the top of the drivers that now remain in the session because the 2 fastest drivers at the time are the ones that have gone off. Are you confident of a good result in this qualifying?
We'll wait and see. This is actually I didn't test on the Friday, so this is actually my first dry running, so we'll see.
We will see. Well, if it rains, then you'll be absolutely perfect. So thanks very much to Lee for taking a moment to talk to us there. Javier, another car going off. What are the conditions like out there?
I mean, the track is pretty dry now. It's just few after the end of the main straights. You have to keep the line or maybe in the middle. If you move outside a little bit, you're going to try to pass somebody. It's still a little bit damp. So that's basically the accident that happened in turn 1 and then what happened in the back. I mean, that's basically what's going on. Besides that, the track is pretty dry. I don't think we're going to do the lap times that we did in the practice, but it's getting drier.
You're doing pretty well at the moment, currently sitting second at the red flag. Of course, still nearly half the session to go. So I assume you're hoping to at least hold or better that position.
So they were talking to me in the radio, but yeah, well, hopefully, according to this, we have 15 minutes. The clock is stopped. We need to put a second set in there to see if I can improve at least 2 laps. And hopefully, Phillips as well. He might race with the other car eventually. And the other car that just hit right now was not that big. The accident, but it looked bad, but it's not that big.
Oh, okay, that's good to hear because we saw the car sort of half on the tyre.
Yeah, I have both recorded here. The first one, the second one.
We'll come to you and get that footage later on. Javier, thoughts for the last 15 minutes, of course. Second set of tyres to go on. I can feel the heat of the sun is beaming down now. Is that going to make much difference to the way you need to approach this second half?
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. The tyres will warm up faster. Also, the temperature. We need to lower the pressure a little bit more to grab it, and basically it's 2-3 laps that we have. There's nothing else. So.
Well, you better get the job done then, I suppose.
Yeah, we've done enough.
Javier, thank you so much for taking the time to chat to us. I'll let you refocus, ready for the session. I'm sure it's going to be a few minutes. I don't know if do you want to leave that open? The live broadcast. Andre, we spoke to you in the middle of the session. You were top then. Angelo Fontana looked like he had really good pace, yes. was fastest until the last couple of laps, and you managed to pull it out of the bag. You must be very happy.
Yes, I'm happy. You know, I tried to give a little bit more. My team is in the radio said you got to go out again. You got to push a little bit more. You know, do a cool down up and try to deliver more. You know, turn 1 keep very tricky, but you know, I said I got to be in 39s. and I tried to be in 39 and not hit the wall.
And you did it very well. And also, Brian, our commentator, said it looked like you were having fun out there at the end, just driving the car, really hustling it.
Yeah, I like drifting too, but but drift don't make you fast, but it's good. It's Estoril is awesome track, but I'm happy. P1.
Yes. You had great pace in Portimão 2 weeks ago, but unfortunately didn't get to show it in the races. Your results didn't reflect the pace. Hopefully today.
Yeah, in Portimão I got a great pace. I got 2 engines. I took off P1. I said I'm gonna deliver. I'm gonna put him 10 seconds behind, and I got a puncher. Yeah. And then I retired the car. Yeah. Then whatever, but one day at a time.
One day at a time. You'll be starting in the best place possible for race number 1, so we'll see how you get on in that one. I assume that you've only got 1 goal.
Yes, I want to get a little bit medal, because you do 2 races, you don't get no medal, no points either, no good.
Draker, thank you very much for heading over. I know interviews are not your favourite thing. You prefer driving the cars on circuit, but very, very strong this morning qualifying. If things had fallen slightly differently, we could have been seeing you on the front row.
Yeah, maybe. I feel that I left some time on the track, but yeah, we're just improving every race, and it's a learning curve, and we can be happy how I'm progressing. Yes. Of course, we want to really have the feeling that we got all of it out on the track, but P4 is not something to be really sad about. It's my best result in qualifying so far, so we're going to do our best in the races, maybe go on the podium, but we'll see.
We will see. I'm sure you'd very much enjoy that. We've seen that you sometimes thrive in difficult conditions. Some of your best results this season in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux were, I think it was the Red Bull Ring in the wet conditions. You had some really good running. Of course, this morning, qualifying was on slicks, but it was still a bit damp out there, and that's when you have shown really good pace. So do you just feel a bit more comfortable in those conditions? What is it about that?
Yeah, I had it since the karting days. I really like when it's a little bit more difficult. I also think the experience in the car matters a little bit less when it's a little bit difficult conditions, and I don't know, it's a mental thing I think, but I just like it.
But 4th place for race 1 later on. We're looking forward to seeing how you get on in that one. Could you do me a favour? Could you go and grab Soren Spreng, please? I was hoping to grab a word with him. He tried to run away from me. If not, no worries. But thank you very much for chatting to us, Draker. Good. I've put our drivers to work. It's not all fun and games for them. They've got to do some work as well. And thankfully, he's managed to grab Soren Spreng, a new driver this weekend. Soren, please come in this side for me. New driver to the grid in Porsche Sprint Challenge Southern Europe this weekend. Soren, tell us about what you've been doing previously. I know you're not new to these 911 Cup cars.
No, I'm not. So I'm driving the German Carrera Cup for quite some years, and also the Carrera Cup Middle East. So that's what I mostly did in the past years.
Yes, and great pace as well. And we know that you've been, successful in other championships. Tell us about some of the successes you've had in these cars.
Yeah, I could win the Prem Championship in Carrera Cup Germany twice, and also the Middle East Championship once. So yeah, and I will fight again for the upcoming championship in the Prem Champ.
Amazing. Well, it's great to have you in the championship. What brought you here this weekend?
There's a big gap in the Middle East season between the last race and the upcoming race, so I thought I'd do something in between, and so I decided to do 2 rounds of the Sprint Challenge Southern Europe.
Amazing. Well, great experience for you for the season ahead, I'm sure. Thank you very much for joining us for a quick interview. Hopefully we'll see you back maybe again.
Yeah, I will do Barcelona as well, so you'll see me back again.
Brilliant. Well, good luck this afternoon. Thank you for taking a moment to chat. We'll bring Sid on this side. Sid, very briefly, I've got to run down this pit lane. We've got a little bit of a shorter time than normal due to the red flags, but how are the conditions out there? It looked pretty tricky.
Yeah, for qualifying, it was one of those where it's dry the whole way around, but there's a couple of braking zones. It just had to be on the biggest ones that are just a bit damp. So it kind of like chucks things up a bit, cools down the tyres and makes it a bit interesting, but I don't think we maximised it, but it's not too bad. We'll have a good race anyway.
Yeah, remind everyone where you're starting for race number 1 at least.
Yeah, starting P11, which it's a bit unfortunate because we were hoping for top 3 really, but it is what it is. We can't change that now, so we'll be coming through, and it's going to be fun in the car, so that's all we can do.
I look forward to that. Easily spotted in the bright green livery. Sid, we'll leave you to your lunch and preparations for the race. Great to hear from Sid as well. Moving up one, guys, number 17, MDM Motorsport, Jelter Hofner, come this side please, mate. I've only got short arms. Good to have you back on the grid, of course. Talk to us, how was your first experience of Porsche Sprint Challenge Southern Europe, and are you feeling more prepared this weekend?
Yeah, it was very good for my first weekend. It was good results, and the car felt good, so that was good.
And yeah, since then I've only been improving and I'm feeling more and more comfortable with the car. So I'm happy going into my first race weekend in Estoril.
Absolutely, and I second your point there about you improving. I think was watching the practice times, especially in some of the wet conditions. At the start of sessions, you were right on the pace, right at the top. That must have been good for your confidence.
Yeah, that's true, but I'm from the Netherlands, so we're quite used to this weather.
Yes,
so.
Same with the Brits as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And to remind everyone at home where you're starting for the first race coming up shortly.
Yeah, so the first race I'm starting from P10. And the second race I will be starting from P8. So it's good positions and I'm hoping to only improve from there.
We'll see you inside the top 10. Jelta, thank you very much for taking the time to come this side, please, mate. We chatted to you at the previous round, but I thought I'd come and grab a word with you again. It looks like you've really made a step forward this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Gained a lot of confidence with the car. Felt pretty good. The rain was great practice yesterday. That was tremendous help.
Yes, and also, of course, help in terms of you're used to the car moving around, so that when it was a bit damp in qualifying, it was still okay for you.
Yeah, no problem. It was a lot of fun. I'd like to make a little more progress in quali, but we got kind of held up by a couple accidents there, some bad timing on some outlaps, but that's what happens. So we'll make it up during the race.
Eric, you're a racing driver. You're never finished. That's that, as you know.
Exactly. Never. It's
never.
A lot of fun now.
Keep pushing. Eric, thank you very much. Josh, come this side, please, mate. Josh, good to have another quick word. I've got to be a quick chat because I've got to get down the pit lane. Talk to us about your day so far.
First time out in the dry here for a year, so started off on the back foot a little bit, but yeah, I think we've got the pace in us, so looking forward to going ahead and cracking on, really.
Top 10, top 5, top 3?
Top 1.
Top 1.
லைகா ப்ரொடக்ஷன் சுபாஷ்கரன் வழங்கும் அஜித் குமார் நடிக்கும் விடாமுயற்சி வெற்றி நடை போடுகிறது.
டாக்டர் ஸ்ரீவர்மா ஆயுள் தரும் ஆயுர்வேதா அறுவை சிகிச்சை இல்லா குணம் ஆயுள் கால நிவாரணம்.
Taste the Daily.